Hi, welcome into Authentically Lovable You. I hope you're having a great week and everything is fantastic in your life. I want to give a quick shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. I unfortunately do not have my father alive, but will be thinking of him and my grandfather. Father's Day is a very important time, so just acknowledge, and even if you don't have a father like me, you can still wish them a happy Father's Day. Anyways, today's topic is going to be referencing Unstuck. And I want to thank everyone that tuned in to our last podcast, which was incredibly successful, 100,000 views. So that was very impressive. I want to thank all of you for stopping in and listening. But today's topic is called Unstuck. So a lot of times when we walk in our authenticity and we begin to look within, and we are truly walking in honesty and integrity and being authentic, meaning being true to what you see, what you know, what you hear, taking it back to yourself, identifying key factors, that's walking authentically, okay? Because when we study authenticity, when we say, I'm going to walk in that, you're speaking truth. You're acknowledging things for what they are. If we're not being authentic, then we're being and living in denial. And we don't want to do that. So for many years, I know that I was stuck in a particular situation, a particular mindset. Now, I've always been one to be honest. That wasn't anything different for me. But when I started to heal, like we talked about in our last session, I started becoming really aware of what was really happening. Now, in authenticity, it's a mirror. Sometimes you're not excited for what you see because it may be things that stemmed from a long time ago, history, growing up, in your childhood. And as you become an adult and you take time to reflect, you realize that what was going on was dysfunctional, was toxic for some of you. I know for myself it was. I know for myself that as I'm becoming more aware and I'm waking up to what really is going on, I'm not going to be part of those relationships. I've had to walk away. I've had to put up really strong boundaries. Now, I have yet not let it out what has actually occurred. I believe that everything comes out at a time and a purpose, a reason for a season. And so I really struggled a lot growing up, and I have struggled recently, and I got stuck. I got stuck from a betrayal, but I didn't stay there. That's the point. Even though you may get stuck in particular points in your life, maybe from a death of a loved one. Like I said, when my father died many years ago, along with my grandparents, within 10 days of each other. It was really hard. But I know that my father never wanted me to stay stuck. He wanted me to be unstuck and move forward. So we have those times in our lives that we get stuck. And sometimes we need professional help to guide us in which way is the best to handle getting unstuck. So when you're stuck, you're in a particular mindset. Maybe you're grieving. Maybe you're sad. Maybe you're depressed. We have a lot going on these days. And remember that it's okay to grieve. It's okay to have a time to be sad. But there comes a time when you have to get back up and get back to life. And that's what I've had to do several times in my life. This is not a one-time-fits-all situation. You have to continually navigate how stuck are you? And how much time are you going to give it? And give yourself some time. And so how do we become unstuck? Well, the first thing you do is you get up and dust yourself off. That's the first thing. Number 2, you take a good look at yourself in the mirror and you say, I love you. I authentically love you through and through, because it is very important that you unconditionally love yourself. Give yourself grace. Give yourself time to acknowledge and feel what you feel. That is the best way to get unstuck. And we talked about affirmations. Give yourself affirmations every day. You can do this. You're getting through it. You're getting stronger. If affirmations are not your thing, there are great apps out there. I am strong, I am blessed, I'm coming through. So you work on these affirmations every day. I know in the app it will remind you like 10 times a day, if that's what you want. And then maybe find some new hobbies, some new things to do to become unstuck. A lot of times we continue to think on those things that keep us stuck. And I know for me, my internal dialogue was, how can I move forward? How can I do this? Now, you should have a support system around and they can support you and give you suggestions. But maybe you're taking more time than you think. You can have a conversation with your doctor. Or like I said, you could go get professional help, and you can go see a pastor, a priest, a good friend, if you trust someone in your family. But it has to be someone that you have a good rapport with, that you trust, because you want to be authentic. You want to be real about how you feel and that you're having problems moving forward. So it's kind of like when a truck gets stuck in the snow, right? It keeps spinning its wheels. It's kind of like that's what our mind does. We keep spinning our wheels. And then sometimes you got to get out of the truck or let it sit a little bit, or you have to find a different alternative to get that truck out of the snow. Maybe put some boards underneath of it. Maybe put some dirt. Maybe push the car, rock it back and forth. So you're going to have to come up with strategies that may be a little different than you've not done before. It depends upon the degree in which you're stuck, right? But my best advice is give yourself time. Be authentic. Allow yourself time to grieve. Allow yourself time to understand. Allow yourself time to reflect. And then you get up, you get unstuck. And we talked about how to do that. So how do you know when you're completely unstuck? How do you know when the truck is out of the snow? Well, it moves forward, right? You start traveling down the road. You start meeting new people. You start doing new things. And so that event that kept you stuck is behind you. It's in the rear view mirror. And the further that you rebuild yourself and heal, that thing gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then one day, you don't even acknowledge it. It's no longer there. It does not have an impact in your life. And that's how you get unstuck. That's how you know. Now, recently I had a situation. It took a long time for me to get unstuck. And a lot of people think I would die. They didn't think I would survive. But I know who I am. I'm not a person that stays stuck. I know that I'm going to get myself back up, and I know I'm going to be successful. Now, did I have to do things differently? Yes, I did. I went quiet. I stayed silent. I didn't tell anybody my plans, and I still don't to this day. That is my boundary. That's how I respect and I honor myself, to stay unstuck. Because certain people want me to be stuck, and that's not who I am. So that's where you come into authenticity, and you honestly look at yourself and say, what is it in my life or within myself that I need to change to get unstuck? How do I move forward? And make your plans one step at a time, one day at a time, one moment at a time, one activity at a time. And before you know it, You're moving forward. And that stuff that held you back is gone. It's done. You don't think about it. You don't talk about it. You don't even remember it. And you go on to your new happy life. Because remember, God is doing a new thing. And in order to do a new thing, you must look forward. No more the rearview mirror. Whatever occurred, it's water under the bridge. And you got to let it go and move on. It's not a part of you. So don't take it with you. You don't need any additional baggage. You drop it, you leave it, you move on. You'll feel very happy, lightweight. You'll be excited about life again. You'll have joy and love and happiness. And that's how we get unstuck from situations, from people, from events, for when life gets hard. And give yourself time. There's no time limit. It depends on you. Let's not stay stuck. Let's get unstuck. So I want to thank you for your time today. Thank you for checking out this podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. And again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And until next time, have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.